It has come to the attention of Anonymous that there are a number of you out there who do not clearly understand what we are, or why we have undertaken our present course of action. Contrary to the assumptions of the media, Anonymous is not simply a group of super hackers. Anonymous is a collective of individuals united by an awareness that someone must do the right thing, that someone must bring light to the darkness, that someone must open the eyes of a public that has slumbered for far too long. Among our numbers you will find individuals from all walks of life, lawyers, parents, IT professionals, members of law enforcement, college students, veterinary technicians and more. Anonymous is everyone and everywhere. We have no leaders, no single entity directing us.
It is unfortunate that I must first make these statements, but it is a pressing matter that needs to be addressed. Is Anonymous a hate and cyber terrorist, or an activist for freedom and truth? No. Yes. Anonymous beginnings make it difficult to understand the entity. Anonymous is simply ideas without origin. May it be a phrase, a fad, a proverb. The concept of Anonymous has always existed. The Anonymous that we know now, the one currently aligned against the Church of Scientology, which crimes and dangers are well documented, so
a loose-knit group of computer hackers who came to the defense of WikiLeaks and got the attention of law enforcement in the process. They are young and stealthy, and they are potential giant killers.
Anonymous hacker activists have basically got together and are exacting revenge for what they see as attacks on WikiLeaks, and they're targeting a number of corporations that have cut off their ties with WikiLeaks.
So they see themselves as protesters. Essentially that the government can't prevent you or I from talking openly. They interpret it much more broadly. They believe that everybody has an inalienable right to say whatever they want on any forum whatsoever.
Out today, this group of computer hackers are apparently threatening cyber war over this WikiLeaks case. What do you know about that?
Yeah, NBC is reporting that Anonymous, it's a group we've heard of before, is threatening new attacks not only on U.S. corporations, but also on some of the government officials.
Number one story, MasterCard announced Monday it would no longer process payments to WikiLeaks. This morning, internet activist crashed its website. This afternoon, Visa.com crashed. Tonight, Twitter might be next. It suspended an Operation Payback account. The group calling itself Anonymous has been waging Operation Payback for a few months now. The group says it is dedicated to a, quote, anonymous, decentralized movement that fights against censorship and copy wrong.
Well, officials have confirmed that at least 41 Malaysian government websites had been hacked overnight. This follows a threat by hacker group Anonymous the authorities for internet censorship. Officials say that 51 websites were hit, at least 41 of them were disrupted.
Hello world. We are Anonymous. What you do or do not know about us is irrelevant. We have decided to write to you, the media, and all citizens of the free world to inform you of our intentions, potential targets, and our ongoing, active campaign for the freedom of information exchange, freedom of expression, and free use of the internet. Our message is clear. We support the free flow of information. Anonymous is actively campaigning for this goal everywhere in all forms. This necessitates the freedom of expression for the internet, for journalism and journalists, and citizens of the world. Though we recognize you may disagree, we believe that Anonymous is campaigning for you so that your voice may never be silenced. The recent news of our campaigns has been, at best, misinformed. We are not a terrorist organization as governments, demagogues, and the media would have you believe.
Welcome
Rather,
to Visa.
Anonymous is a
As part of
spontaneous
our
collective
quality
of
assurance
people who share
program,
the
your
common
call
goal
may
of
be Thank you for calling Davidstrasse. Your call may be recorded for quality and training purposes.
Holy crap.
Thank you for calling the family.
Hang on, I'm trying to get on the net. David.com, it's not working.
Greetings, world. We are anonymous. Due to the misconceptions being propagated, we are setting the record straight. Anonymous is a diverse collective of individuals focused on securing freedom of speech and information worldwide. Our intent is not to disrupt without cause, but to protect the internet from the tyranny that government and corporate agencies are now seeking to impose on it. We do this.
A letter from Anonymous. Our message, intentions, and potential targets. Hello world, we are Anonymous. What you do or do not know about us is irrelevant. We have decided to write to you, the media, and all citizens of the free world to inform you of our intentions, potential targets, and our ongoing, active campaign for the freedom of information exchange, freedom of expression, and free use of the internet. Our message is clear. We support the free flow of information. Anonymous is actively campaigning for the school everywhere, in all forms. This necessitates the freedom of expression for the internet, for journalism and journalists, and citizens of the world. Though we recognize you may disagree, we believe that Anonymous is campaigning for you, so that your voice may never be silenced. The recent news of our campaigns has been, at best, misinformed. We are not a terrorist organization as governments, demagogues, and the media would have you believe. Rather, Anonymous is a spontaneous collective of people who share the common goal of protecting the free flow of information.
Congratulations, Sony. You now have received the undivided attention of Anonymous. Your recent legal action against our fellow hackers, GeoHot and Rife Chocolo, has not only alarmed us, it has been deemed wholly unforgivable. You have abused the judicial system in an attempt to censor information on how your products work. You have victimized your own customers merely for possessing and sharing information, and continue to target every person who seeks this information. In doing so, you have violated the privacy of thousands. This is information they were willing to teach to the world for the free. The very same information you wish to suppress for sake of corporate greed and complete control of the users. Now you will experience the wrath of Anonymous. You saw a hornet's nest, and stuck your penises in it. You must face the consequences.
Dear citizens of the world,
Anonymous
cannot and will not stand idly while people are being denied their basic rights and human liberties. Yet there are still a lot of governments worldwide who fail to even aspire to the standard of freedom that was set by the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. These governments believe they have the right and privilege to impose upon their own people an official version of reality which is not in any way tempered by the truths of everyday life under which its citizens are living. Anonymous believes this is an outright crime which cannot go unpunished. The Egyptian people are living under inhumane conditions, being denied their basic rights to freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of association, and the free access to information. By imposing censorship upon its own people and condemning these freedoms, the Egyptian government has revealed itself to be criminal and has made itself an enemy of Anonymous.
Une autre lettre ouverte d'Anonymous au peuple tunisien. De nouveau, félicitations pour votre courage. Une fois de plus vous avez, en manifestant dans les rues tunisiennes, mis vos vies en danger pour refuser d'accepter le gouvernement intérimaire, dominé par l'ancien régime qui se targue d'être honnête et sans sang sur les mains. Bien qu'ils refusent de prouver leur bonne foi en donnant la garantie que vous méritez, montrer que l'ancien régime est vraiment fini et que vous êtes en
Dear
sécurité.
citizens of the world,
Le fait qu'ils ne se soucient
Anonymous
pas de votre
cannot and
sécurité
will
et
not
de
stand
votre
idly
légitime après
while
ce que
people
vous
are
avez
being
subi,
denied
montre qu'ils
their
doivent
basic
partir.
rights and human
Ces personnes
liberties.
sans
Yet there
aucun
are
sang de
still
leur
a
union
lot
l'audace
of
de demander à un
governments
brave citoyen
worldwide who
tunisien
fail
ou
to
sans vous
even
attache au lieu de
aspire
lui
to the
demander
standard
des
of
progrès dans la
freedom that was
comparution en
set by the
justice des personnes
Universal
qui ont abusé vos
Declaration
droits
of
humains.
Human Rights. These governments believe they have the right and privilege to impose upon their own people an official version of reality which is not in any way tempered by the truths of everyday life under which its citizens are living. Anonymous believes this is an outright crime which cannot go unpunished. The Egyptian people are living under inhumane conditions, being denied their basic rights to freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of association, and the free access to information. By imposing censorship upon its own people and condemning these freedoms, the Egyptian government has revealed itself to be criminal and has made itself an enemy of Anonymous. To the Egyptian government, Anonymous challenges all those who are involved in censorship. Anonymous wants you to offer free access to uncensored media in your entire country. When you ignore this message, dear citizens of the world, we attack your government website arrived and not a time for freedom and transparency. A time for people to express themselves freely and to be heard from anywhere across the world. Yet, the Tunisian government has decided it wants to control this present with falsehoods and misinformation and restrict the freedoms of their own people, all of this in order to impose upon them their own self-serving vision of the future. However, they can only accomplish this goal by keeping the truth hidden from its citizens and by putting restrictions on the free access of information. In doing so, the Tunisian government has made itself an enemy of Anonymous.
What side is the U.S. on, Mubarak or the people in the streets?
Well, there's another choice.
I want to be very clear. The United States has a close partnership with Egypt.
Welcome, citizens of the web. We are Anonymous. No media is able to describe the situation in Tunisia. The Tunisian government has jailed the three members of the United States government and international media from getting factual information out of the country. Reformation. Anonymous is collecting videos and testimonies directly from Tunisian citizens on the streets and on the internet. Because Anonymous thinks you need to know. Anonymous will fight against those who are trying to prevent you from knowing the truth. Anonymous will fight against those who want to steal from Tunisians their right to free expression. Demonstrations and mass protests broke out in the African country of Tunisia on December 17, 2010, when 26-year-old Mohamed Bouazizi, an unemployed university graduate, was trying to support himself by selling fruit and vegetables in the city of Sidi Belzid. Police approached Mr. Bouazizi, telling him he did not have the proper permission and confiscated his entire stock. Bouazizi then, in an act of desperation and outrage, set himself on fire in the city streets in a grim demonstration against his government's
of the free world. This is Anonymous speaking. I'd like to introduce you our new campaign. As you already know, our dearest enemy is the brainwashing campaign of Scientology. But times are getting harder for the hard-working peoples out there. We want not give up our struggle with Scientology, but we have a second enemy. This enemy is the big business campaign of mental slavery, food control, and genetic manipulation. I'm talking about Monsanto, weapon of the New World Order. Our new struggle is to educate the people about the truth behind Monsanto. We are not going to accept his structures who wants to make slaves out of us. We are fighting for truth, love, compassion, and light. We are not terrorists and we protest peacefully. Monsanto is an aggressor, full of arrogance, lies, hate, and crimes to humanity. Monsanto, expect us. We are Anonymous, We are legion, we do not forget, we do not forgive. Amor, vincit, omnia.
People of the world, you see the situation in Greece. You see that the bankers and the other governments use our country to serve their imperialist purposes. In Greece, after the dictatorship of the Troika, namely the IMF, the European Union and the Greek government, people have started making efforts to revolt against those who oppress them. On June 29, 2011, once more the Greek state unleashed violence at the Greek citizens while they were protesting peacefully in Syntagma Square. The Greek citizens was practicing a democratic and perfectly legitimate process of protesting, as the Greek parliament was voting severe austerity measures to shrink a debt which was not explained where it came from and why we should be charged more. And all of these are the moment that the impunity of all government which have squandered the public money and their corruption reigning. Since 1970, the Greek state tries to accomplish its goals using provocateurs, hooded for supposedly trying to dissolve and destroy their own country. They are united with the Greek police force for approximately 6,000 policemen who will not be able to arrest 200
July 4, 2011.
everything.
Attention politicians, media, police and banksters of Greece. This is a message to all of you from anonymous Operation Greece Money Back in Operation Laund. We have been watching as you demolish any last sign of democracy in Greece. We have been watching as you were signing the outrageous IMF austerity plan and loan agreements. We have been watching as you sold out your people's souls to keep your banking friends happy. We have been watching you deploy state police in uniform and in undercover clothes, posing as anarchists to provoke violence with a peaceful protester. We have been watching as your police thugs attacked protesters with tear gas, sprayed the people with poisonous chemicals, thrown rocks and used batons to bash the heads of Greek citizens. We have been watching the all-around violence, the bloodshed, leaving at least 500 injured, including the elders and women. For centuries, Greece has been the proud cradle of democracy. Now you have
violence and chemicals. We are anonymous. We are legion. We do not forgive. We do not forget. Expect.
Kitchens, anything else that they need to create a barricade. They plan on occupying the area for a few months, all for the sake of grabbing BC's attention and putting Wall Street on the spotlight. And Anonymous is also on board this move.
Greetings. We are Anonymous. On September the 17th, we called for a peaceful protest to occupy Wall Street, and we delivered. We witnessed the streets of New York flood with protesters in the thousands and Twitter feeds explode with Occupy Wall Street hashtags. We have marched with one goal in mind, to be heard. We the people, Anonymous, will no longer scheme idly while money and greed corrupt this country. We are united by one, and divided by zero, and this is only the beginning. We are Anonymous. We are legion. We do not forgive. We do not forget. Wall Street, you should have expected us.
Fellow citizens of the internet, we are Anonymous. On September 17th, Anonymous we fled into Lower Manhattan, set up tents, kitchens, peaceful barricades and occupy Wall Street for a few months. We shall incessantly repeat one simple demand in the humanity of cases. We want freedom. This is a non-violent protest. We do not include violence in anyone. The abuse and corruption of corporations, banks and government, and its game. Join us. We are Anonymous. We are legion. We do not forget. We do not forget. Wall Street. Expect us.
chairs, kitchens, anything else that they need to create a barricade. They plan on occupying the area for a few months, all for the sake of grabbing VC's attention and putting Wall Street in a spotlight. Now, Anonymous is also on board with this move.
Greetings. We are Anonymous. On September the 17th, we called for a peaceful protest to occupy Wall Street, and we delivered. We witnessed the streets of New York flood with protesters in the thousands of
Breaking today in the cyber war over WikiLeaks, Dutch police confirmed they've arrested a child suspected of hacking several websites in defense of that controversial website. He's a 16-year-old boy, included in the two biggest targets, MasterCard and Visa. Also PayPal, today Amazon, and others. The cyber attacks are allegedly retaliation for the arrest of WikiLeaks founders who hackers launched Operation Payback, as they call it, yesterday. It's a series of service attacks. The group claiming the attack was said thousands of volunteers to defend their operation. Team Fights Back now Captain Aaron don't call out what they see. First, the Fox News reporter on top of New York. Let's start with the arrest of this kid. What in the world?
Yes, Chef, he's a 16-year-old boy. He was arrested in the Dutch city of The Hague. That's the seat of the Dutch government. The server which was apparently behind the attack was in a nearby town of Halle. Now, this 16-year-old boy is being held for 3 days at least by the Dutch authorities, who say he has confessed to the crimes. Now, this is part of what a lot of national security experts believe is a coming cyber war. They say that it is young people like this who could be behind the most devastating attacks, not just in the United States, but around the globe. Among the national security experts who believe that, our own Katie McFarland, who I talked to today.
This is a war, and it's going for, I think, what really...
Hey, what's your name? What's your name? What's your name? What's your name? What's your name so we can tell the National Lawyers Guild? What's his name? They are detaining several...
Now live from Boston, prepared to show your face, Greg. You say then you speak for Anonymous. We can't verify that, so talk me through it.
I have never said that I speak for Anonymous. That is something pretty bad to say in the eyes of Anonymous. Simply by being here in front of you, I'm not Anonymous. Here's my name, here's my face.
Right, okay, forgive me for that, but I thought that when you spoke to my producer earlier on, that you said that you felt that you could speak for...
What's your name? What's your name? Ready? 3, 2, 1. What's your name?
But I personally am not taking part in any illegal activities. I just am trusted by a lot of these people.
What's your name? What's your name? What's your name? Tell me your name! What's your name? Jason! What's your last name? Jason! Why are you dragging him across the street? Could you not get him on his feet, sir?
We live in a free society where the press has certain freedoms.
Wertes Volk. Bezugnehmend auf die polizeilichen Restriktionen gegen die Server der Piratenpartei am Freitag, den 20. Mai 2011, kurz vor der Bürgerschaftswahl in Bremen, sieht sich Anonymous zu einer Stellungnahme gezwungen. Unter dem Vorwand, dass sich in den Pads, die sich auf dem System befinden, Informationen über einen geplanten Angriff auf den französischen Atomkonzern EDF befänden, wurde dieses abgeschaltet und zur Durchsuchung beschlagnahmt. Damit wurde der Partei zeitgleich eines ihrer wichtigsten Kommunikationswerkzeuge genommen. Dieser Vorfall wurde unter dem Namen Servergate bekannt und verbreitete sich rasant als schockierende Nachricht.
Fascists are banning porn that is drawn or portrays small-breasted women and female ejaculation. And I'm so pissed off, because that's just discrimination. Apparently, small-breasted women in porn is pedo bait. Wait, what? Small breasts are natural for women of all ages. If you want to ban stuff from porn that is even remotely considered to be borderline pedophile, you should just ban shaved genitals on men and women.
This is a message from Anonymous. Hello, men and women of the control system. Your time in power is coming to an end. I know you can hear us. We are Anonymous.
The markets may be closed for the weekend, but there is volatility on Wall Street today. Protesters are descending on Lower Manhattan for a demonstration called Occupy Wall Street. It's organized by the hacker group known as Anonymous and supported by others, including the counterculture magazine.
Man kann sich nicht darauf verlassen, dass das, was vor den Wahlen gesagt wird, auch wirklich nach den Wahlen gilt.
Im Jahr 2005 hat weltweit jeder 7. Mensch nicht genug zu essen.
Eine Argumentation, die kann nicht dazu führen, dass Deutschland den besten Weg findet.
Das bedeutet, dass von insgesamt etwa 6 Milliarden Menschen 815 Millionen chronisch unterernährt sind.
Ich weiß es nicht. Ich weiß nur, dass ich ihn auf diesem schäbigen Klo bekommen habe und dann sofort bewusstlos geworden bin.
Das ist doch gar nicht einmal so schlecht.
Ja, ich schon fest. Und als ich wieder wach geworden bin, war Tyler weg.
Und wir müssen damit rechnen, dass das in verschiedenen Weisen sich wiederholen kann.
Oh, war das nicht schön.
To accomplish something.
The markets may be
Este es un video para demostrar que Anonymous somos todos, no pertenecemos a ninguna cultura ni organización. Somos ciudadanos normales despiertos y que hemos decidido rebelarnos de forma pacífica.
Greetings, citizens of the world. As we are watching the peaceful protests in New York City for Troy Davis and Occupy Wall Street explode in massive amounts of people, and are preparing to occupy Freedom Plaza in Washington, D.C. starting on October 6th, it is time for the rest of the world to stand up. On October 15th, we will occupy the streets all over the world and demand a true democracy, with others on the day or the days immediately follow. For as long as we can, we will fight for our rights, and together we will make a global revolution. The people of the world will keep fighting until our demands are heard. Stand up against corporatism, wars and militarism. Stand up for human rights, worker rights and jobs. Demand an end to private for-profit prisons. Fight for affordable health care, education.
Hello, Government of Britain. We are Anonymous. For years we have asked in the support and protection of our leading parties. We trusted you to make decisions for the nation that the general public could not, and to be our representatives in times of disagreement and need. However, times are changing, and we, Anonymous, are not pleased. We fully understand that sometimes there must be sacrifices for a greater good, in this case the safety and comfort of the nation. However, this time it is going too far. You plan to implement a
I am Anonymous. I am here to tell you about the horrors of Scientology. This is exactly what Scientology believes in. In L. Ron Hubbard's own words, the head of the Galactic Federation, 76 planets around larger stars visible from here, founded 95 million years ago, solved overpopulation by mass implanting. He caused people to be brought to T-Geek, Earth, and put an H-bomb on the principal volcanoes, and then the Pacific Area ones were taken in boxes to Hawaii and the Atlantic Area ones to Las Palmas, and they're packaged. His name was Zanu. He used renegades. Various misleading data by means of circuits etc. was placed in the implants. Went through with
Wir haben uns entschieden, Ihnen zu schreiben, um die Medien sowie alle freien Menschen über unsere Ziele, potenziellen Attacken und unsere aktuelle Kampagne für Informationsfreiheit, Meinungsfreiheit und freie Nutzung des Internets zu informieren. Unsere Botschaft ist eindeutig. Wir unterstützen den freien Fluss von Informationen. Anonymous setzt sich für dieses Ziel aktiv und in jeder Form ein. Das Recht auf freie Meinungsäußerung muss gelten für das Internet, die Presse und Journalisten und jeden Bürger dieser Welt. Es mag sein, dass Sie unsere Kampagne nicht unterstützen. Doch wir glauben fest daran, dass wir uns auch für Sie einsetzen, damit Ihre Stimme niemals verstummt. Die Nach
This is an anonymous message from the Spanish Revolution to politicians, dictators and plutocrats all over the planet. Surprised by the global disobedience? Let us explain to you your delicate situation. Thousands of years ago, human beings started to evolve. Since then, our species has walked a dark bloody road, which isolated people condemned to live in fear caused by ignorance. Knowledge, ethic and technological development have always been conditioned by elites and their wars, which as in the Orwellian metaphor, haven't done anything but perpetuate vertical and obscurantist social schemes. We have arrived to the 21st century of our era, after 2 world wars, endorsing the possibility of nuclear conflicts with assured mutual destruction. Their so-called economists and intellectuals, having announced that it was the end of the story, it seemed, more than ever, that looking for a fairer order was meaningless. Thinking that they had slowed our rational development enough, they let us carry on with a progress model whose sole objective was never more than to make them even richer and more powerful. However, they didn't consider that the real human spirit refuses to bow. Always. While they believe they were overcoming us definitely by using economic shocks, our species has evolved in a new manner, using only the powers of culture and freedom. We have used for technological resources that were born of our genius, and they only provided us with consumerist intentions. So we have updated, improved and immunized our force, the operations and effectiveness. We absorb their own tactics, techniques and power of persuasion to form our own means, dreams and challenges. Today, the Pacific Revolution is spreading around the planet as a challenge to their oppression, and they shamelessly try to shut our freedom of expression. Finally, information has reached critical mass, exploding in a melting pot of voices whose new wishes and needs can't be covered by their old paradigm. Now, physically and digitally interconnected, we form a huge collective conscience. Maybe their corporated media silence what's happening, but they can't fool us anymore. They can temporarily stop some notes, but the process will continue unstoppable and ever-changing. Now it doesn't matter which measures they take for trying to counteract, the more violence, censorship and obstacles they put in our way, the more they expose their weakness. From every place on the earth, with different ideas and from different conditions, women and men exist and will exist who oppose the pretense of not really democratic and fair governments. After millenniums of suffering, our species has stood up and nothing will ever be the same. Their totalitarian game is ending. But the story, friends, hasn't ended yet. It now begins. Here, in Spain, we'll take the streets and we'll march wherever. Remember, the change is happening, with or without you.
I would like to address you, the viewers of the scientists, anonymous, or simply an innocent viewer. Since the onset of this movement, Anonymous has been referred to as a group of super hackers, and, as domestic terrorists, we have been labeled villains and evildoers, and have been thought of as having an elite organization. All are incorrect. We are, as our name implies, we are a group with no leader, and with no face. We share no common opinions, we unite under no one banner, and we follow no one set of rules. This movement is simply a gathering of people who oppose Scientology, and these messages are sent to intimidate the churches of business, inform the public, and guide the members of our legion. We are your friends and neighbors. We are not good people, but rather, as varied as
Greetings world, we are anonymous.
Scientology, conversely. secrets of the church, but are simply told that they can be helped. These Scientologists, scared about the inevitability of death and uncertain as to what follows after, are misguided, and should be considered victims, not enemies. It is the head of the organization, run not
dabei, ihn schon zu führen und nicht mehr mit den etablierten Institutionen.
Auf die Größe Ihrer Bewegung kommen wir noch. Vorerst gefragt, der Unterschied zwischen Ihrer Generation, Herr Dutschke, Sie sind Jahrgang 1940,
ja.
Zwischen Ihrer Generation und der Generation der heute 40- bis 50-Jährigen scheint mir darin zu bestehen, dass Sie, die Jüngeren, die aus den vergangenen Jahrzehnten gewonnene Einsicht in die Verbrauchtheit der Ideologien nicht besitzen. Sie sind ideologiefähig. Akzeptieren Sie diesen Generationsunterschied?
Ich würde ihn nicht als Generationsunterschied begreifen. Ich würde sagen, es sind verschiedene Grunderfahrungen. Aber das ist nur nicht ohne weiteres ein Generationsunterschied.
Last night at 5 p.m. Pacific,
können verschieden verarbeitet werden.
8 p.m. Eastern Time, Anonymous had called for, as I mentioned yesterday, a protest at the BART stations in San Francisco, specifically the Civic Center station, protesting what is now being investigated by the FCC as the illegal shutting down of cellular communications on the BART system by the BART authority because they wanted to essentially prevent people from having an earlier protest of a shooting by BART policemen of what turns out to be, or is allegedly, an unarmed man.
Unser Ausgangspunkt ist Selbstorganisation der eigenen Interessen und Bedürfnisse. So stellt sich das Problem des Zwangs nicht.
Dieses setzt aber eine Bewusstseinsanhebung des Menschen voraus. Zu dieser Bewusstseinsanhebung müssen Sie ihn mindestens überreden. Freiwillig tut er das ja nicht. Dazu müssen Sie ihn bringen. Wenn er das nun nicht will, wenn er sagt, ich will lieber abends in Ruhe
Wir wissen, dass im Augenblick Minderheiten aufgeklärt werden können, aber Minderheiten, die geschichtlich die Chance haben, Mehrheiten zu werden. Heute sind wir nicht sehr viele. Aber das schließt doch nicht aus, dass immer mehr Menschen, besonders jetzt am Ende des sogenannten Wirtschaftswunders, besonders jetzt, wo international viele Ereignisse anstehen, die also bewusstseinsfördernd sind. Warum soll das ausschließen, dass viele Menschen vielleicht unsere Einsichten als richtige begreifen?
Ich habe zwei Bemerkungen.